Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Sean Moss with Down Payment Resource, and our team of DPA research analysts has decided to bring this to you in order to show you how we promote your programs far and wide across real estate channels, lender channels with nonprofits, education providers, counselors, and ultimately to consumers, and how we do this for you, the DPA provider, for free. We set out almost 14 years ago to do what nobody else was willing to do, which was compile data about all homebuyer programs in one place and make it simple and easy and fast and intuitive for all stakeholders to find those programs, whether they're in real estate, finance, education, counseling, or maybe they're a prospective homebuyer trying to figure out the path to home ownership and figure out if there's help out there or a way to accomplish that goal. So today we want to show you how we do that, how we promote your programs to so many different audiences, how we do all of this for free for you. We want to show you how we build lender awareness and adoption of your programs, how we've partnered with MLSs to provide listing data or to provide DPA program data to listings, almost as if it's another layer of property data. Every property out there has a tax footprint. Well, likewise, it's got a DPA footprint as well from programs like yours. We want to show you what we do with realtors, what we provide for them, how we promote your programs on Down Payment Resource. And I'll also show you some of this live as well, not just in a PowerPoint deck here, so you can see some of these examples in action. And I'll show you some additional collaborations and partnerships we have, and we'll talk about how we can partner with you specifically. So again, I'm Sean Moss with Down Payment Resource. We have several members of our team in the background. So feel free to use the Q&A and ask any questions. We're an open book, and that's part of what we want to do here today is answer any questions that you may have about Down Payment Resource and what we do with your program data, who sees it, what it looks like, how this all works. A little bit more about us. We do this nationwide. We have built a database of a lot of data about all of your roughly 2,200 homebuyer programs around the country. Our technology helps agents, real estate agents, and loan officers be the down payment hero to buyers. We integrate into property listing data, including with MLSs or multiple listing services. Lenders rely on us to find and review and adopt down payment assistance programs and to promote them to consumers, as do all of our partners. All of this is about recognizing your efforts, your programs, your initiatives, and in the spirit of mission alignment, growing consumer awareness of your programs, but giving you essentially a marketing vehicle through which to do that. So ultimately, and put simply, we are here to help connect home buyers to your down payment programs. And again, I want to be clear, we do that for free. We have never charged or asked any money of a DPA provider, a municipality, a nonprofit, and so forth to promote your programs in the ways that you're going to see here today. So to be clear, we do this everywhere, no matter your coverage area, no matter your jurisdiction, no matter what market you're in. We are tracking and monitoring all of the homebuyer programs we know of, which we believe to be all of those available across the country. If your program somehow is not in our database, we would add it immediately as a priority. We find that typically we have every program in every market at any given time. And we're also tracking funding status, criteria, qualifying criteria, all manner of characteristics and guidelines about your programs, but nationwide, everywhere for everybody. And that's no matter the program type. We track all of the down payment assistance programs, closing cost programs, whether those are grants, repayable seconds, deferred loans, forgivable loans. We know what everybody's program looks like. We can break that down. We're aware of how these programs work across the country and for the buyer and for the lender. And we also track mortgage credit certificates, as well as affordable first mortgage programs. Now, those typically come from state housing agencies. And today we've invited primarily local program providers. We also track and monitor your housing choice vouchers, your individual development accounts, and other maybe less prevalent programs, but all of those that are there to assist the home buyer. We monitor all of those, and we provide details about all of those to our users across our platform. Now, this does, of course, include state housing finance agencies, even local housing finance agencies, but we track all of the programs from every provider. You might be a municipality, a city, a county, part of a community development department. We track and monitor programs from employers, nonprofits, housing authorities, community development financial institutions, the Federal Home Loan Bank Network, community land trusts, and more. So we really are a comprehensive single central source for all of these homebuyer programs so that we can make available all of these opportunities, including yours, to any homebuyer looking to purchase a home and any of the professionals that are going to help them along the way. And all of this is to help build more widespread recognition, not just of your programs, quite frankly, but your efforts, your initiative, your mission, and your work, your hard work and dedication to the prospective homebuyer. So everything we do is about building recognition of your programs and putting your information in front of these buyers and the professionals out there to help them, so that as they pursue home ownership, they're aware of all of their down payment options, all of their down payment requirements, and all of the solutions out there to help them. So in particular, we have our website, downpaymentresource.com. Anybody, whether they're a buyer, a realtor, a HUD certified counselor, a homebuyer education provider, a loan officer, anybody, anywhere in the country at any time can come to downpaymentresource.com and find your programs for free, or find the down payment assistance available where they want to purchase a home. And we make that available to them for free on our website. But we do a lot more. Despite the thousands or tens of thousands of people that come to our website every month looking for help to purchase a home, we do a lot more than that. We partner with lenders. We offer a number of software tools and solutions to help them execute on their affordable lending initiatives. Namely, we look at their declined loan pipelines. We often work with lenders and look at their data and look at why loans are not making it to the finish line. Why are they being declined? Are they being declined for cash to close, for qualifying ratios? Now, we might think, okay, well, I'm only concerned with the loans that are going to closing. Well, our perspective is, how many of those loans that don't make it through the lender's pipeline could actually have done so if somebody had brought up your down payment assistance program and said, you know what, ratios are a little tight, but if we use this local down payment assistance program, we could help this buyer get to closing. Now, of course, they still have to be income and credit qualified, but our studies and our research and our work in this regard have identified staggering volumes of declined loans that could have, and quite frankly should have, made it to closing if not for awareness of down payment assistance or home buyer programs like yours. I'll also show you a few of our other lender tools. We'll look at them live, but our DPA Directory is for the enterprise to find and review and understand and research and monitor all of the home buyer programs that are out there. We have tools for underwriters. We have tools for loan officers to help them match consumers to the programs that lender participates in and underwrite them quickly and get them through the pipeline, get them off to you, get the buyers out looking for homes, right? We also have a consumer portal for lenders that allows them to broadcast awareness of the DPA programs they participate in and let consumers know that, yes, there is help out there. There are solutions for the down payment obstacle, and that those lenders can offer those solutions to a prospective borrower. Now, we also partner with MLSs. I'm going to show you an example here live in a minute about what this means. But essentially, when we partner with an MLS, or that's a multiple listing service, that's the platform where properties are listed and sold within a given market. And there's an MLS in every major market around the country. In fact, there are hundreds of multiple listing services around the country. And we've partnered with many of the largest and some of the medium-sized and smallest ones around the country. But we are essentially identifying listings that are eligible for assistance based on the list price and location versus the maximum purchase prices allowed by your program and the jurisdiction of your program. So, for example, our most recent MLS partner, one of the largest in the country, is California Regional MLS, or CRMLS. As with Stellar MLS in Florida, FMLS in Atlanta, North Star in the Twin Cities up in Minnesota, Austin, Texas, Detroit, Boston, Indianapolis, Richmond, Bay Area in California, and so on and so forth. We're partnering with all of these MLSs to flag eligible listings as being eligible for some kind of down payment assistance, so that the realtors that are listing and selling these properties are, first of all, aware of the fact that down payment programs are out there. We show them all of these specific programs and details, and your contact information, your flyers, guidelines, and so forth, which we'll look at here live in a moment, so that they know not only which programs are out there, they can discuss that with a potential home buyer that's interested in that property. They know all of the programs out there. They have all of the next steps and details, like how do we take the home buyer education class and get that done for our buyer? How do we find a participating lender? We show them all of your information, and it's always deferring the realtor back to you, so that as they're listing and selling and showing properties to potential home buyers, they're aware of all these opportunities, and their buyers become aware of them too. We also provide additional tools to real estate agents, namely Down Payment Connect. That tool allows real estate agents and loan officers, or it provides them with a personalized DPA search page. To the right here, you see an example. I'll show you that and another example live here in a minute. But basically, these real estate agents or loan officers can essentially illustrate a path to home ownership on their website, in their social media marketing, in their email marketing, or anywhere that they are engaging with potential home buyers. They're showing them that these down payment programs are out there, broadcasting that message, letting them search for down payment programs and connect with those realtors and loan officers to continue that conversation, to discuss down payment requirements, to explore down payment assistance options and programs like yours, and to help make sure they get connected with participating lenders that can get them pre-qualified, help them apply for the down payment assistance program, and get them out there looking for their property and competing to win a property. Now, as I mentioned earlier, anybody can go to downpaymentresource.com or anywhere else across our platform. This is all about helping buyers find the down payment assistance they need from your programs. So wherever they're looking for a home, if they're looking at a listing through an MLS partner, if they're working with a loan officer, when they're on our platform, they're going to find out how many programs are out there, how many dollars they might get, and what the critical next steps are, or their critical partners, in order to accomplish their goal of home ownership and utilize or take advantage of your down payment assistance or other home buyer programs. Now, how do we work with some of these partners? So here's a few examples of some other partners of ours, and I'll show you a couple of these as well. We work with Next Step. So for buyers interested in purchasing manufactured homes that want to explore down payment assistance options, we work with Next Step to broadcast the DPA programs that some of you offer that allow manufactured homes as an eligible property type. We work with the National Fair Housing Alliance, NAREB, MGIC, the mortgage insurance company, eHome America. All of these partnerships and all of these organizations are trying to enhance and expand awareness of your programs through their education platforms, their real estate community, their lender community, policy making, and so forth. And so we partner with all of them in order to help accomplish those goals. And in fact, on that note, I want to hop out here and show you some of these partnerships. So let me show you downpaymentresource.com first. As I mentioned, anybody can go here on our website. They can search for programs anywhere in the country where they want to purchase a home. The only thing they really have to tell us is location. Where do they want to buy a home? With that, we can start the process of matching them up to any and all of the programs available to them. But if they want to do something like add an estimated purchase price, then we'll take a look at the purchase price limits of your programs, and our unique proprietary algorithms will just immediately make sure that if they've exceeded the purchase price limits of a few programs, that those programs won't show up in their results. Or if they want to enter household size and their income, then we look at your income limits and make sure that we filter their results accordingly. Likewise with home ownership history. Maybe they currently own a home, but you don't have a first-time home buyer requirement. Or maybe they owned a home, but it was more than 3 years ago. So they're essentially a first-time home buyer again. We account for all of those inputs. Maybe they've served in the military, or they work in a certain profession for which you may have unique assistance. Maybe you have a police officer program. Maybe you have a teacher program, something for first responders, healthcare workers, or just something for active duty military or veterans, or unique benefits for veterans or those that have served in the military. So whatever the consumer inputs, or realtor or loan officer, whatever they provide to us, as long as we have location, we can start the process of matching them up to all of the down payment programs that are available where they want to purchase a home. So then they go on to look at their results. And again, we show them the critical next steps, the things that they need first in order to leverage your program. So here we've done a search in Chicago, and I'm going to move around the country here and show you how this all works in markets all over the country to kind of drive home the point that we do this nationwide. We've been doing this for almost 14 years, and we'll talk a little bit more about our process here in a moment. But so they found a program. Well, we want to point them to your participating lenders, your homebuyer education requirements, your contact information. Everything we do here is to point that buyer back to your information, your staff, and so on and so forth. And if the program's currently out of funds, then we will identify that program as out of funds and track and monitor that until you get money back, for example. But all of this, again, is to point that consumer back to your programs. And that's just downpaymentresource.com. Did you know your programs also now show up on Zillow? We've been working on a pilot with Zillow. If you go look at a property, part of their standard listing or property detail overview includes access to down payment assistance information. So here's a property in Denver, Colorado. If I go there, look at the program details, scroll down the list, the city and county of Denver has a program. Of course, the state has their programs. We can go on down the list and see what else is available from local nonprofits, municipalities, and so on and so forth. And all of these currently are links to your resources, your websites, contact information, and so forth. Now, when we talk about listing data like Zillow, we also partner with multiple listing services. So these are the platforms where realtors are listing and selling properties. This is our MLS partner in Atlanta. You can see here, we are identifying those listings that are eligible for at least one, if not more, or likely many, homebuyer assistance programs. So when the real estate agent or the consumer, when they're receiving listings from their real estate agent, when they're looking at properties they like, they can open this up, just simple click of a button, and now they know, sorry, hold on a second. And then they find out how many and which programs are available for that specific active listing, that on-market property, as that consumer is expressing interest in pursuing that property or pursuing home ownership. And then the realtor or the buyer can scroll down and look through all the programs, state programs, nonprofit programs, and so forth. And again, all of these are links back to your participating lenders, your flyers, your guidelines, your website, your contact information, and it's your program. So we will reflect it as you wish us to do so. And I'll talk about partnering like that in a moment here. But here you see local programs too, right? The realtor or the home buyer can open this up and again, see who do I go to get pre-qualified? How do I finish my home buyer education class? If I want to learn more about the program, where do I go to do that? You can see here, all of these are always links to and contact information for you and your agency. Now, sticking with working with listings. So we partner with other organizations in a lot of ways. If an MLS or a broker or a real estate agent has a property search website where potential home buyers come to look for properties, maybe outside of the multiple listing service, but on a property search website from a brokerage or whomever, you can see here, we are also identifying that there is down payment help available. And when the consumer engages that tool, they can enter household information. They can learn about the programs, again, specific to that property. So we are narrowing down to the property level here, looking at location, purchase price, and other factors to determine if there's any assistance available at that location, and then letting everybody know, everybody who's coming and looking at this site or looking at this data, whether it's the home buyer, the listing agent, the broker, we're letting them all know that there's down payment help for this property and that they can explore that with their potential home buying clients. And then, of course, we have tools for, we looked at this example from Brian earlier. Brian's a realtor. This is one of the tools that we offer realtors that just allows them to broadcast the availability of down payment assistance programs in general, and then offer a search experience for the consumer to specifically find the programs available to them in their market where they want to purchase a home. So here they're going to perform a search. They don't have to have an address, right? So we can do this by city. We can do this by county. Let's say they want to buy in a suburb of Atlanta. That's where this realtor is. Okay, there are 9 programs. Well, what if I've served in the military or someone in the house is a teacher? Maybe there are additional programs, and the consumer can go on and find out more about those and connect with that real estate agent. Now, we also see more and more, and I'll explain how this ties back to you, but we see more and more that real estate agents, lenders, loan officers, even at the multiple listing service level, there's more and more attention on educating buyers about these down payment assistance programs. And also, while doing that, making sure that potential home buyers understand down payment requirements, understand, for example, that they don't have to have 20% down, but that programs like yours are out there to help them come up with the 3%, 3.5%, 5% down that they would need to realistically purchase a home. And so here's just one example. This is a real estate team in Seattle. They've got a page with advice for home buyers. So, and again, I'm moving around the country to show you that this is working. This is happening all over the country. So no matter your market, we're putting together partnerships to expand the reach of your programs and essentially become a de facto marketing arm for your program. Now, that said, this team in Seattle has obviously added a lot more content about down payment assistance programs, letting them know kind of the basics, what is down payment assistance, where are these programs available, and then they've offered that search, right? Letting the consumer find the programs available to them when they want to buy a home and where they want to buy a home. Now, I want to pause here for a moment from the real estate side, and I want to show you what we do on the lending side. So what are we doing for lenders? This is our flagship tool for lenders. Now, this is typically a corporate tool. This is something that banks or mortgage lenders would use in their product development department or secondary marketing. Often the people that might also be calling on you to ask, what fees do I charge? What documents do you need for your program? Things like that. Those are the people that use our platform because, especially the bigger they are, the more of these programs they participate in, the wider their geographic footprint, then the harder it is for those lenders to stay on top of all of the many DPA programs that might be available, but also that they might participate in. So this tool allows them to filter through the country and figure out, so I'll go to California here if anybody's on in California. There are 350 programs in California. And if you're in California, did you know that? Did you know that there are 350 some homebuyer programs from the states, counties, cities, local realtor associations, nonprofits, CDFIs, and so forth? And we track all of them. So let's just take a look at the first one on the list here in Alameda County. This is what lenders are looking for. They need to know a lot more than a real estate agent, and they need to know a lot more than a consumer when it comes to activating this program within their product suite and originating successfully, making sure that they do these loans correctly within a reasonable amount of time, and making sure that there are no fee issues, disclosure issues, and so on and so forth. So more and more, when you hear us call on you or when we reach out to you, those are the kinds of things that we're trying to collect and provide and maintain for the lender, because they're the ones ultimately that have to get this right. They have to be in touch with you. They have to understand the nuances and the details of the program. And so we put all this back in front of them in a standard format so that no matter the program, no matter the program provider, no matter the nuances of that program, it's all presented back to any lender anywhere in the country the same way. It all looks the same. Now, everybody's website, every one of your websites are different. The format of your guidelines are different. We're simply putting that in a centralized, standardized system or platform so that these lenders can access this information and learn about borrower eligibility and know exactly where to go for income limits, qualifying ratios. When they're looking at 1, 3, 5, 12, 25 different programs in a day or a week or a month, this makes it super easy, super simple, and super seamless for them to be able to track those programs. And just as quickly as I did that in California, let's go down to Florida and let's just roll down here to city of Clearwater, okay? Off the coast of Tampa. So I'm just randomly picking programs here. If they need to know what fees to collect, how to disclose, what the fee limitations or requirements are, if they need to know about closing requirements, who funds at the table, who sends the money to the closing, and so forth. We're capturing all of that and making it available to the lender while also telling them, okay, how many dollars can you get? How is this going to impact a particular buyer? Is your program deferred, forgivable? Is it interest bearing? Is there an equity share component? What are the ratio and credit guidelines and so forth? So again, this is our flagship product for lenders, and this really shows you the detail, the extent of our efforts to curate and collect and monitor and give back to the industry current, up-to-date information about your programs. And along with that, lenders then use that information to broadcast, and this is just one example. This is in Southern California. Lenders use that information and the idea of down payment assistance and leverage all of their hard work to onboard and keep track of and offer these programs to then broadcast that message to the consumer and tell them, as this lender is doing here, that, hey, down payment assistance may be available. We offer a lot of these programs. You have to get pre-qualified through a participating lender, and we are one. So come talk to us. They can learn more, and then we're back to that search, right? We've seen this before. The consumer can learn more and figure out what's out there for them. Now, with that, I'll show you a couple other partnerships here. I mentioned Next Step. They do a lot of work with manufactured homes and trying to solve for affordability, help people find down payment assistance that can be used with manufactured homes. So we partnered with them to do this. And this is just another way that we're promoting your programs to a wider and wider audience. So the consumer can come here, they can search for programs in Dallas, and they can go on to view those programs. Likewise, the Minnesota Homeownership Center. I didn't mention Zillow in the slides. We took a look at Zillow and the fact that your programs are there. Here's another example of kind of a local or regional nonprofit. They do a lot of education and counseling and other great work in Twin Cities, Minneapolis, and beyond, quite frankly. But they also are raising awareness of programs like yours as they work with buyers, as they work with renters who want to be buyers. So again, these are all just examples of the many, many ways that we're reaching tens of thousands of consumers, realtors, loan officers every month, broadcasting awareness of your programs. And again, all for free. So to that point, all we're looking for is your partnership. We understand that your time is limited. We understand that many of you have a very small staff, that resources are tight. So we've made this very efficient and very simple over the last 14 years. Our team is basically a bunch of housing experts that are passionate about affordable lending, affordable housing, and who also speak your language. Our team comes from lenders, banks, the GSEs, Fannie Mae, home builders. Some have been on the real estate side as realtors or brokers in the past. So our team is experienced in housing finance, experienced in affordable lending and affordable housing in particular. We speak your language. We know how to read your guidelines. It's intuitive for us because we do it day in and day out, and we have been for years. And we leverage that experience to make it simple to gather and monitor your program information without burdening you. All we ask is that you let us access your flyers, guidelines. We can take a look at what's on your website. And this is what we're doing day in and day out and what we've done for years. But let's say that you did have a program that wasn't yet in our system, or if you wanted to check in with our team to get a deeper look at the data that we do have about your program, we are always happy and excited to do that. And then going forward on an ongoing basis, we simply send out a monthly update request via email. And typically, we're going to confirm that your program is still funded and active, first and foremost. And then ask a few questions about any other details, nuances of the program, so that we can make sure that we are keeping tabs on your program's current state and then change as your program evolves. So essentially, if you respond to our monthly update request, we literally do the rest for you. And our platform disseminates your program to realtor audiences, lender audiences, consumers, and others across so many different partnerships and integrations, literally reaching tens of thousands of people a month, and sometimes more depending on the partnership. And so our goal then ultimately is to spotlight your DPA or your home buyer program, because we know they're not all DPA programs, but our goal is to spotlight your DPA in front of more people. We want to build awareness of your program. We want your hard work, your dedication, your efforts to secure funding and operationalize a DPA to be understood and recognized and adopted by more in the industry, especially lenders. More and more lenders have been coming to us over the years saying things like, hey, we know there are down payment programs out there, but we don't know how to find everything available in our market. Well, we do that for them, and we make it super easy for them to do that. And then they dig in, they find a program like maybe one of yours, and they need to know they need to know the logistics of it. You know, how do we disclose? Who funds at the table? What fees do we charge? What are the qualifying criteria? How do we underwrite this program? And again, we make that simple for them. We have tools for loan officers and underwriters to do those kinds of things well. So again, our goal here is to spotlight your DPA in front of more people, in particular, the increasing volume of lenders who want to understand and then take advantage of these programs to help more buyers to execute on some of their affordable lending and community reinvestment goals and so forth. So having said all that, not to be snarky or toot our horn, but quite literally, this is the most common response we get when we show a down payment assistance provider all of this. Wow, we had no idea you did all this. Well, that's why we wanted to do this webinar today, so that you could see why we call on you for information about your program, so you can see what happens to that data, where it goes, who sees it, that we're pointing everybody back to you all of the time, and making sure that not only are they seeing your program and becoming aware of it, but they're connecting back with you in order to explore the opportunity that your program provides. So in terms of spotlighting your program, you can always learn more about us at downpaymentresource.com/HFA. Now, obviously, we realize you're not all housing finance agencies or HFAs. Nonetheless, that page will tell you a little bit more about what we do. And we have a new publication we launched this year called the DPA Radar. It goes out every Friday to a large, mostly professional audience of real estate agents, people in real estate, as well as lenders, loan officers, and others in mortgage finance. And we take one or two programs a week and we highlight the benefits. We highlight what's unique about that program, and we point people back to your program in that way as well. So if you would like to take advantage of that opportunity, then you probably know who your down payment resource representative is from our DPA team, and reach out to them, let them know, respond to that monthly email that goes out, or get on that monthly email and let them know that, hey, by the way, I'd also like to take advantage of the opportunity to broadcast my program through the DPA Radar. So lastly, before we get into any questions here, if you ever do have questions, you can always just reach out to our team at info@downpaymentresource.com. If we don't get to your question today, we tried to leave a few minutes here so we could have a little Q&A session if applicable. So go ahead and type any questions in the Q&A box, or you can use chat. But if you have any questions about anything you heard today, or if you want to check us out a little bit more, go to downpaymentresource.com/HFA, or email us at info@downpaymentresource.com. Or again, you can always reach out to your down payment resource representative who is likely already calling on you or your agency and trying to contact you on a monthly basis anyways. So with that, let's see. As far as questions, so one common question we get is, are you a nonprofit? We are not. We are not a nonprofit. When we started doing this in 2008, you can, if you recall, or if you were in the industry or the business at the time, that was a tough time for lending, a tough time for the mortgage industry. And our best approach at the time was to set up as a for-profit. We are a software company at our core, and we have data analysts that are calling on you that speak the language of DPAs, but we are a software company licensing some of the solutions that you saw today to MLSs, to real estate agents, to brokers, to lenders, and so on and so forth. So that's our business model. That's how we make money. And quite frankly, that's why we don't ask you for any money, because we leverage our software and we license that to all of those people that do work with or participate in your program. So let's see. I don't see any other questions. I'll hang out here for a minute. If anybody has any questions, feel free to throw them in the Q&A box. And otherwise, you can reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com, and we're happy to answer any questions there. Okay, folks. Well, thanks for joining today. Hope you found that useful. We look forward to talking to you soon. And next time your down payment resource representative reaches out, ask them if you can get a better picture of what kind of data we have about your program, and also ask them about the DPA radar. Thank you for joining.